Bună ziua și bine v-am regăsit la o ediție foarte specială a Festivalului de Lectură și Joacă, care este organizat de data aceasta cu ocazia Zilei Internaționale a Cărții pentru Copii, pe care o sărbătorim anual pe 2 aprilie. Astăzi o am alături de mine pe una dintre cele mai îndrăgite autoare ale noastre, ale literaturii universale, cea care ne-a adus niște personaje extraordinare. Printre ele, simpatica Sofia, cu atelierul ei cu pantofi magici, Luna și pădurea magică, cu siguranță știți aventurile lunei în pădure și, deloc întâmplător, o carte de Crăciun, Spiritușul de Crăciun și magia ușii secrete, o carte plină de magie. Așadar, fără alte introduceri, alături de mine este chiar Usch Luhn, autoarea acestor cărți minunate. Hello, Usch, it's so good to have you here. How are you?
Hello, Diana. I really love to hear your voice and to hear your language. It sounds so charming. You are so charming.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
great to see you. So I'm really well, and I like to talk to you about my books and about my inspiration. And it's really nice to meet you.
As you know, we are gathered here today for talking because we have the International Children's Book Day on April the 2nd. So I wanted to talk to you about your work as a writer. What made you become a writer? How did you find inspiration? And how did you decide to write children's book?
Mhm. So, to be honest, it was a lifelong dream, because I've always loved stories and grew up surrounded by books and reading and imagination. And I was living at my grandparents' home, and my grandfather went to me to the forest each day for a walk. And when I was in the forest, I imagined to be ah, a princess or a dwarf or something like that. And I always wanted to have magic abilities. And so it was quite normal to become a writer. And I still hope maybe I still hope I get some magic abilities. Maybe you never know. And
I am sure you have magic abilities because one of them is to keep the kids so glued to the books that you wrote. So I think that's a
oh, thank
magical
you.
ability today when technology is all over the place and kids are harder and harder drawn to books.
No,
Do
that's very
I,
nice.
yes, this is why I want to ask you that whether when you choose a subject for
Mm.
your series, do you think of what children love today? What are their favorite topics? Or you go
Mm.
to evergreen topics like magic?
So the very first thing, mostly most time I imagine a character first. So, and this comes from my reading lessons. I meet a lot of children. This is very important for me. So the COVID time, Corona COVID time, when we had to stay at home here in Germany, especially, we were not allowed to go outside, not to go to the schools or to the kindergarten or meet children. This was a very hard time for me, because for me it's very important to meet children, and yeah, to get to know what is their theme, what are they interested in, what do they like, and then I see a girl or I see a boy, and I come home and start writing, because I noticed this girl, this Lily or Sophia or Luna or Bente, or boys and girls. It's very important for me also to write for boys, not only for girls. This is a very important thing. Sometimes the publishing houses get a little bit nervous about that, because they say, well, girls are better in reading. They like books, a lot of books, but boys don't read. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I'm sure boys and girls both really love to read and to get magic feelings, inspiration. And this is not a thing which ends today. So there are, how do you say, I think there is a message, an importance which is not dependent on techniques or something like that. It's too unique. Those big items, friendship, love, and bravery, adventure, all those items are so important that it is not necessary to be afraid from TikTok or or Facebook or Instagram and new techniques. I think this is so unique. It will live forever, today and tomorrow, and in the past time, of course. Fairy tales are always important. Magic is always important. Each child would like to be a magic person. I'm really sure about that.
I'm sure too, because I'm also a big child that wants to have magical
Yeah,
powers. So, and I think every one of us has a small wish there to be magical. And I think
yeah,
we actually are.
yeah, well, that.
And so, do you ever run out of inspiration? Does it happen?
Yeah, sometimes, and it comes when I work too many hours, because sometimes I really write for 10 or 12 hours a day, and this is a very long time. And then I get sometimes a little bit bored about the sentences I write, or I don't, I have no more imagination. So then I stop. And I live here at the countryside. Maybe you see a little bit of my garden. And then I go outside into the nature, to the sea. I'm really love to live at the countryside, but I also, I have a very small apartment in Berlin, and I also like the vivid life time in
Of the
Berlin,
town.
in the town, in the cafe. I go to the coffee shops, have some uh, coffees with my best friends, girls, a lot of girls I know, with my daughter. I really love it. I go to the nature, and then the ideas come again. They come like birds around me, and I can go on writing then. Sometimes um, I just sit down in the bathtub or in the water, dreaming about. So to dream about stories is a very important thing. And there's another thing which really works very good, is to talk to your protagonists. So, for example, to Luna. Then I imagine Luna is a friend of mine, or she comes to visit me. She comes to me and I ask her, "How are you? What are your favorite things to do? What would you like to be? Which animal do you like most? Maybe, do you know this wild boar? This wild boar Momo from Luna, and she's
Yes.
riding on his back. And I often buy those puppies for me, and I put them into the reading lessons. This one, for example. And then I talk to him and say, "Hey, how are you? Are you fine?" And then he answers me, and I write down what he says to me. So I'm always in a dialogue with my protagonists. This is very important. And
So it's a continuous dialogue between you and the characters you create,
yeah,
and the story actually writes itself
yeah,
from this conversation.
yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Um, this is really, I was at university to learn writing screenplays, dialogues, and this was a thing I've learned at the university. I've talked to a lot of American script writers, and they are really good and gave me a lot of inspiration. They always said, go in dialogue with your persons. They come to you into your kitchen, go to them on holiday, go on the bus with them, or make a car tour with them, go to them to swimming pool or something like that, or all things you like, they like, and maybe they tell you who they are and what they want. This is very important.
Because they
And
are a part of you, but they also have their own life.
they have their own life. And sometimes they have to say, stop, keep outside. And it was very funny when my daughter was a teenage girl. Sometimes she asked me, Mama, is that you or is that your person you're writing about? So sometimes she did not know who I am. I am Lily now, or I am Sophia, or I am Mama. And this was sometimes very funny.
Talking about characters, do you have a favorite one? One of the characters that you, I don't know, are very fond of?
This is a very a difficult question. Do you know that I have also written about wild horses, which is called pony heart, a wild horse. And there is a protagonist. She's called Annie, like my own daughter, Anna. And Annie, I really like her because she is so magic in her dreams. She is a kind of introvert person, but she's also sometimes very wild and free. I like those protagonists who are wild and free, but who have a big heart and who like animals. So I can say I don't prefer Luna to Sophia or Lily or Annie or Bente. I really like those characters who are independent and have their own ideas and sometimes problems because of that with school and teachers and parents. But they have a good heart. This is very important for me. And I think that children like to read about those characters. Maybe they would like to be like them. They can identify with them. This is very important. So when I was a little girl, I was very shy and I was very afraid in school, and I never talked. Now I'm talking a lot, but when I was a little girl, I didn't talk a lot and was really afraid of grown-ups and teachers and all those things. And I think there my imagination started. I really wanted to be a Supergirl or Pippi Langstrumpf or yeah, an independent person, but I was so shy. And this is important to read about girls and boys who are really powerful.
Well, and if our listeners, watchers, are curious about Annie, we can tell them, we can reveal them that very soon the first
Yeah,
volume will be on the Romanian market also. So a new
yeah, this
series
would
will
be great.
start. Yes,
Do you know that there exists a film, a cinema film?
yes,
Annie was in cinema 2 years ago, and
yes.
it was yeah, it was called Wild and Free, Pony Herz, Wild and Free. And we have a kind of spin-off, when Annie is about 2 or 3 years older. The book is called Forever. And she is going on I don't know the English word. How do you say it? Internat. When you, do you
A
know
boarding room,
internat?
boarding school.
When
Yeah,
you're in a boarding school and you sleep in the boarding school, you're away from your parents and you
yes.
yeah
In
and
Romanian is internat. so it's that
Internat.
easy.
So
Yeah.
it's the same word. So it's internat. She's in an internat together with animals, and she has and with Lorenz and her other best friends. But there are some new friends who are very, uh, girly and a little bit and make problems. But she meets her wild horse again, and there's big love for the wild horse and a lot of secrets and adventure. And I'm writing the second book at the moment. It's very interesting. And I have another a book in pipeline, which will come out next year. It's the same publishing house, Ravensburger, like Luna and the Magic Shoes. It's about a girl who can whisper with plants.
Yes, I think you already told us about this new
Yeah.
series last
Yeah.
year, so we are
Yeah.
very anxious
Yeah.
to see it.
Mhm.
So you don't lack inspiration, as
No.
we can see. There are so
Yeah.
many adventures that you have to share, and this is amazing. But I also want to ask you about the illustrations because your books are amazing, and you find the illustrators that actually enhances the experience. How do you work with the illustrator?
Yeah. So when I started writing books, the publishing housing houses did not talk with me about the illustrators because they decided which illustrator. But now I'm good in a good talk with the publishing houses, so I can decide which illustrator, together with the publishing house, with the editor. I often have a really close connection to the editors. They are kind of good friends from me, and we can talk about all things and also about the illustrators. And I think they have a good look, a good imagination, which illustrator I could work with. And then we come to know and we talk about it. And I send them a description or parts of the books, and they imagine the illustrators, the illustrations, and then I can talk with them and say, yeah, well, I like it, or maybe the girl should be a little bit older or a little bit wilder, or and so it really works very good together with the illustrators. They are really great artists, and I love to see the illustrations. I'm longing for them, and sometimes they send me illustrations when I'm not uh, as far as they in their paintings. So the paintings how do you say inspirate? Yeah,
Inspire you, yeah?
inspire
Inspire
me,
you.
inspire me.
Mhm.
This is very important. So it's very nice.
If you could give a piece of advice to the parents that are not very sure how to make their kids in love with the books, what
Mm,
would you suggest to them? Because I know you read to the kids quite a lot, so you are in touch
yeah.
with their world.
Uh-huh. So I think a very important thing is um, to read to them for the very first time. So reading lessons together with the children is very important. Don't let them alone with the book. Show it together and talk about the book and talk about the characters. Have have a look on the pictures, and maybe parents talk about their own childhood, what they liked when they were children. I think for children it's very important to know how their parents, which childhood their parents have had, and if they liked books or if they liked stories or adventures. Um, this together with the parents, to read together is a very important thing, to be really close together, and it's good for the bonding between between parents and children. And the parents, I think, they should reconnect with their inner child, when they were little ones, what did they like? What did they love? And they should tell that to their own children. And this is, I think they should open their heart, their inner child. Sometimes the grown-ups have a problem with their inner child. They don't recognize it, or they don't imagine it, or they have
They don't
put
reconnect.
away. Yeah,
Mhm.
they have lost the connection, and it's very important for them to get their own connection. Sometimes I really got to know that sometimes parents really love my books, and then the children love my books because the parents like it. This is a very nice, knowing about it. Well, it's good. Because the parents are the people who go to the libraries with the children, and they go to the bookshops, and they have to pay for the books, and so they really have to like it too. This is important.
I must admit that I always wanted some magical shoes. So your book was very much welcomed in our family. So we all read it already, and we are very keen on seeing the second volume, which,
Oh, wonderful.
yes, it's with a boy. And
It's with the boy.
yes, and that plays football. And that's very important because football is such an important topic here in Romania, and I'm sure
Absolutely.
also in Germany.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone loves sports.
Absolutely. It was very important for me to write the second one about a boy. I really wanted it, and I talked with the editor about it. There must be a strange boy, a boy who has fears. This is also very important. When I'm in the reading lessons, and then I ask the boy, do you have fear about anything? Or tell me, what do you have fear when it is dark in the night, or when you're alone in the house? And it's very important. They open their hearts, and it really works when you talk to them, and you can tell them, I'm also afraid of a lot of things. And so, for example, in Luna, in the very first book, there is this one, the
Yes,
oils.
the
Two
owl.
oils
Yeah.
arrive. And this is a story uh, which happened to me. I'm living in a very old house, in an old farmer's house. There is no farming around me in our house, but it's an old farming house. I was alone in the sleeping room upstairs, and I woke up because I heard something, and then I saw two eyes, very yellow eyes, in the middle of the night. And it was an oil who had come into my sleeping room because the window was open. And the oil she made, this is a fluid I always put into my reading lessons. This is the oil who calls me. And this was an adventure for me, and so I wrote it down into Luna. So my own adventures, the adventures of the children. They tell me their adventures. They come into the books and connect, and this is very important for me.
This is also very lovely, and we love your stories. And we thank you so much for being here with us today. And we are looking forward to see even more adventures with your characters that are so lovely, and they teach
Wonderful.
us so many good things, because we and the readers enjoy the fact that in all the books you can see the kindness of the characters and how they value friendship, trust, and all the good values that we want to teach our children. So thank you
Oh,
again, Usch, and hopefully we'll see you soon here in Romania with our readers.
yeah, this would be so great. I'm really longing for it to come to you and to learn to know the children and to talk to them. This would be really great for me. Thank you for the interview, and thank you for the possibility to show your children, the Romanian children, my books. This is great. It's wonderful for me. Really wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you and see you soon.
See you soon.